BSM Live starts soon. BSM Live starts soon. BSM Live starts soon. This is a presentation of Blakesley Sports Media. Welcome to BSM Live. Here's your host, Stephen Blakesley.
Well, we want to welcome you into episode number 5 of Blakesley Sports Media Live, and really excited about today's program because we have some special guests and a lot of cool things to talk about. So I want to give everyone an opportunity to start to log in before we get things underway. On today's program, we'll have our Winner's Circle segment once again with winners from all the big short track races across the country. We're also going to take some time to recap the season opener for Keller Auto Speedway. That's Hanford's Kings Speedway, the first race under the promotion of Peter Murphy in the books. And boy, was it a good one. So really excited to talk about that. And we're going to be hearing from the winner of that race, Mitchell Faccinto. So our first sprint car guest of the year. I want to thank Mitchell Faccinto for coming on to our program. So give everybody an opportunity to log on here to our 5th episode of Blakesley Sports Media Live. And as everyone starts to log on, I'll take this opportunity to remind you to go to my website, BlakesleySportsMedia.com. You can also try my old address, NorCalMedia.com or StephenBlakesley.com. They all go to the same place. And we have a live tab. And if you go to that live tab, we have links to all the major podcasting services across the country that are now carrying Blakesley Sports Media Live. So after the show is over, you can tune in on those podcasting services, and it'll be up tonight and on demand. So that includes iTunes, Google, everything you can think of. There's about 10 or 12 different services, and you can stream on demand our show. And if you miss an episode, great opportunity as well. We also upload our full episode to YouTube as well. So if you miss it here on Facebook, plus it's on demand on Facebook. So lots of different opportunities to tune in to Blakesley Sports Media Live. And again, want to thank you all for tuning in. So one of our new clients at Blakesley Sports Media is we're helping out the promotion of the Western Midget Racing Series. And I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that probably aren't too familiar about that series, as they're using Chevrolet-powered midget cars for an affordable alternative to full-blown national midget racing. And Mike McClooney and the gang over there at WMR getting really pumped up and excited for Season 2 that'll be starting next month at Ventura and at Watsonville. And we're going to take this opportunity right now to play you a preview video that we put together previewing the 2020 season for the WMR. So we're talking about a series that has very affordable high performance, and a couple of races last year they had the BCRA midgets racing against the WMR midgets, and that number 22 ride of David Prickett nearly picked up the win at Watsonville with one of these low-cost Chevrolet-powered cars, and they're expecting car counts in the double figures all season long. A couple of young drivers have joined the field from the micro ranks. So it's kind of becoming the 305 sprint cars of midget racing. And it all gets started next month on March the 14th from Ventura Raceway and on the 27th from the Ocean Speedway Watsonville. And excited to help them get the word out about their series and share more about it here on Blakesley Sports Media Live. And with that, it's time to go into our first segment today. It's time for our Winner's Circle segment. And our first big winner of the weekend, of course, the 305 Race Saver Sprint Cars were out at Hanford at Keller Auto Speedway. 23 cars in attendance, and it's the highest car count they've had for the series. And Brendan Warmerdam, another former micro sprint driver, picking up the victory. A very good victory for Brendan Warmerdam out there at Keller Auto Speedway. So big tip of the hat to Brendan. Great competition there. Following Brendan Warmerdam across the finish line was Rob Solomon and another micro graduate, Grant Champlin, rounding out your top three. So a great season opener for the Race Saver 305s. And they have a few weeks off before they continue their season. I believe it's on March the 21st at the Tulare Thunder Bowl. Now we go to the whole other side of the country to Florida, where we find Cody Swanson. That's right, Cody Swanson from Kingsburg, California, picking up the victory in the Dave Steele tribute race. Of course, Dave Steele tragically passing away a couple of years ago in an accident in a sprint car. And this race was like a tribute to Dave Steele's racing career. Non-wings at the Showtime Speedway in Florida. The race was chronicled live on low-budget TV. And Cody Swanson picked up the victory. And I know that's a victory that meant a lot to him and to a lot of people in the sport. So really happy for Cody Swanson out of Kingsburg, California, to pick up that big victory back there at the Showtime Speedway in Florida. Kind of a high bank quarter mile, the track kind of resembling the Anderson Speedway, the home of the Little 500, where Cody Swanson has had a lot of success, and he duplicated that success in a V6 powered car. Very cool. And then the big celebration in front of a packed house for the Kings of Thunder 360s, and our man who will be our guest today, Mitchell Faccinto, is in the center of that celebration. And another 23 car field. So they had 23 305s, 23 360s, and Mitchell Faccinto is right in the center of this, getting the champagne with Giovanni Scelzi and DJ Neto rounding out the top three. A lot of talent in that top three. Once again, the top three over there at Hanford: Faccinto, Scelzi, and Neto. Kind of hard to beat that, right? So great stuff over there at the Keller Auto Speedway. And on Thursday, the ARCA Menards Series West opened its 2020 campaign. The ARCA era began out there at the Bull Ring at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And no big surprises here. Sam Mayer picking up the victory, and he kind of dominated that event. But what was really cool was the performance by the drivers that ran behind Sam Mayer. So Sam Mayer getting the deal done out there at Las Vegas. But second place, the driver who we've had on the show a couple weeks ago, the Hammer, Jesse Love, in his debut in the West Series at 15 years old, running in the second position and running third for a career best effort for Blaine Perkins. So I want to give a tip of the hat to Blaine Perkins in the Sunrise Ford 4-star fruit car. And then rounding out the top four, Gracie Trotter in the number 99 Ineos Toyota Camry ran up there in the third spot, and then on the late restart got kind of shuffled back and ended up coming home in fourth. And Gracie Trotter in her debut in the West Series doing pretty well for Bill McAnally Racing. And what a great event they had there at Las Vegas with the ARCA Menards Series West. That had a lot of great competition. Of course, Mayer ran away with it, but the battle from second on back was pretty good. And then the super late model race, Derek Thorne and Kyle Busch going back and forth, with Kyle Busch picking up the victory there. So pretty exciting stuff out there at the Las Vegas Bull Ring. And now we come back on screen just to give a big thumbs up. We'll give 2 thumbs up, mate, to Peter Murphy at Keller Auto Speedway. Everything that we saw from the Keller Auto Speedway this weekend looked like it was an awesome time. We're going to try to make it down there this weekend for round number 2. We have Madera Speedway practice during the day, and we're going to try to scoot down to Keller and get some video for our show. So looking forward to going down there to Keller Auto Speedway and seeing all those great racers, the great race fans. The lineup this weekend at Keller will be a little bit different. They'll have the 360s, they'll have the A-mods, but they're going to bring in the IMCA stock cars and the Central Valley mini stocks. So a great 4-division program. And if you follow Peter Murphy Racing or Keller Auto Speedway on Facebook, you will see that any little things that he needs to adjust on, Peter Murphy is already doing that with some of the stuff with the food lines, the ticket lines. Back when we opened the Kern County Raceway Park right here behind me, we dealt with a lot of the same things. And it's all about learning and not repeating your mistakes. And so Peter is on top of it here on a Tuesday. He's already got things kind of figured out for this weekend's event. So we've been there. We've done that. We had people that swore to us at the gate, never coming back to Kern County Raceway because the beer line was too long. But all you can do is fix the problem and move forward. So again, a 2 big thumbs up, mate, to Peter Murphy for everything that I've heard about how things went at the Keller Auto Speedway. But for a first-hand account of how things went this weekend, we'll hear from the guy who stood tall at the top of the podium, and that's Mitchell Faccinto, our main event winner this weekend. And let's hear from him right now. We're on the phone with Mitchell Faccinto, who won the Kings of Thunder finale and followed that up this weekend by winning the season opener at Hanford. And thanks for coming on our show.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
So you were 11th in the King of the West points last year, and we've seen that series really exploding with a lot of new talent. And right off the top, we wanted to ask if you intend on racing with that series this year and what your plans are for 2020.
Yeah, we plan on racing with them. I don't think as of right now we plan on doing the whole schedule. We don't. Right now, the last couple of years, we haven't planned on running any point series or anything like that. We kind of just bounce around, get all the schedules together, and pick and choose where we want to go, and just go for wins. That's kind of our goal. We haven't really focused on points in the last 2 or 3 years, so that's kind of what we've been focused on, going for wins wherever we feel like going that weekend, and that looks like what we're going to do this year too.
So speaking of wins, of course, that really big win on Saturday at Hanford, the first race with Peter Murphy at the helm. Just how exciting and how fun was that to be a part of that season opener with a packed grandstand, a really strong car count? What was the atmosphere like there?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I knew when I got the news that Peter was going to be taking over, I was excited about it. From the time I heard about it, I think I've stopped by the track since 5 minutes from my house about 2 or 3 times, and just to check it out, talk to Peter, see what his plans were, and that just made me more excited. I knew the track surface was going to be good. The rain didn't help it, but they got it smooth and they got it pretty racy for. I know Gio and a couple of those guys came from pretty far back to get up there to the podium. So, yeah, like I said, Peter's done a great job just in the improvements, not only to the track side, but to the facility and the grandstands and everything that he's been doing. And I know he's just getting started, so I'm happy that we have someone like him that's able to take over a track that's been pretty good to me and the 37 team. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
That Kings of Thunder series has been a pretty big success in your area and seems like it's really growing pretty rapidly. What's the feeling down there as far as sprint car racing in your part of the valley? It seems like things are really picking up momentum.
Yeah, I think it's gone good the last couple of years since they've had that series. I think they've been getting full fields every night, and between Hanford and Tulare, they usually get the tracks pretty good and make for good racing and get big crowds, and that's pretty much what it's all about. So I think with Peter taking over, he's going to expand that series more, along with adding a couple 410 races that he wanted to do, which I think is going to help too, not only for the 360 series, but for the 410 guys. So, yeah, I mean, the series has been good. It's been good to me. We've been fairly successful in it, and I look forward to running those races along with traveling a little bit this year too.
Yeah, so speaking of traveling, I see that you guys are going to go to Arizona this weekend with the ASCS, and then you'll be racing with them again next weekend at Merced and Placerville. What are some of your goals and expectations against that tough ASCS talent?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I know we've only ran with the national guys, I think, a couple times, and it's been at Kokomo, so we've never really gotten to challenge them, I guess you could say, and at our home tracks. I've never been to Canyon, which was where we're going this weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. I know the assist hasn't been there in 4 or 5 years or whatever, so I'm looking forward to it. I know their format and their tire and that kind of stuff is a little bit different, but I think we'll be able to adapt pretty quick, and hopefully have some good runs and come back to California and have some good runs at Merced and Placerville as well. We tend to go pretty good at those tracks with the stuff we've run now, so I think we'll be okay there in a couple weeks.
It seems like every couple of years the ASCS tries to come out to California and have a couple races. And I don't know if it's just because of Placerville being on the schedule this go around or what it is, but at least it feels like to me there's a lot of excitement about these ASCS races in California. Why do you think that is?
I don't really know. I mean, I think the tracks play a big deal. I'm looking forward to going back to Placerville. That place is always so racy. Scott and Cammie do a great job about promoting and filling the stands every week. So I'm excited about that. And Merced with Doug Lockwood, he's turned that place around, and he hasn't been able to have too many wing sprint car races. So I think the fact that we get to go there this year, and I think the Outlaws are there this year too, I think that'll be good for him and Merced. And Petaluma is always tricky. I think that might be the place that throws the ASCS guys off a little bit, just because the surface that they have there. So, I mean, we got a lot of talent out here. I think we have some guys that can compete with them on the national level. So we'll just see how it goes.
So you said you're racing this year for wins and targeting big wins. What are some of the big ones that you would like to get this year?
I think 410 wins is something we need to focus on a little bit more. Maybe getting one or two of those this year. We've gotten 2 total, so they're both at Hanford at Keller. So I think 410 wins. The Trophy Cup always stands out in my mind. We had a prelim win there a couple years ago, which was good, but I think we need to be a little bit better if we're going to compete for the overall on Saturday. Just pretty much every week I'm shooting to win, and if we don't, we're disappointed and trying to figure out what we can do to get better to get there. So, I mean, we ended up with 8 wins last year, all 360 wins. So we're definitely trying to shoot to better that number and try to have some 410 wins on the schedule as well.
Yeah, that Trophy Cup, you guys had a pretty good run in that Saturday main event, running in 7th. So you're definitely close to a big breakthrough there. Who are some of the people that you want to thank that make your race program possible?
I really got to thank Stan Greenberg. At one point, it was just me and my brother racing micros out of my dad's garage, and it was just us 3 doing everything, and we were able to be successful doing that. But we weren't able to take that to the next level financially, until Stan came along and gave me the opportunity not only to drive this car, but to develop starting at the end of 2013 and just really just get beat week in and week out and learn from it and talk to other drivers and try to get better. So Stan has put a big factor just by giving me the opportunity to learn. That doesn't happen too much anymore with certain car owners. If you struggle a couple weeks, you're out of the seat, and Stan hasn't done that to me, thankfully. So we've been able to be pretty successful, and my dad too. My dad came along as my crew chief with Stan, so we've been able to work together pretty well as a team, and I think that makes a big difference week in and week out. So yeah, things are going pretty well right now.
Well, Mitchell Faccinto, we want to congratulate you on your big win out there at Hanford, and good luck this weekend in Arizona.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Well, that was very cool to have Mitchell Faccinto on the program. And again, you can just see from all those photos that Peter Murphy did a fabulous job at Keller Auto Speedway in putting together an awesome event. All the renovations he made to the fencing and the safety stuff with the extra black K-rail he put up behind the fencing, the new wood boards that the guys at Myers helped him put up just to make it safer to be into the grandstands, the packed grandstands, the packed pit area, and then a really cool guy picking up the victory. You heard Mitchell point out he had 8 wins last year, but none of them came in a 410. And this year's King of the West, we've been kind of documenting this throughout the off season, but this year's King of the West is loading up to be really exciting. Some new announcements this week. Kyle Hurst is going to drive for the Zero Heroes. And in honor of Maury Williams, and that's going to be really cool. And then Wild Billy Ayton in car number 26 is going to be campaigning for most of the tour as well. And so that joins drivers like Kyle O'Phil and Justin Sanders, Spencer Baston, Nathan Rolfe, Willie Croft, Tim Kading, Bud Kading, Jody Robinson, DJ Neto, Sean Watts. And again, I think the King of the West is really intriguing this year, and I'm going to try to find my way to a couple of King of the West races this year because I think that series is going to be a hot one. And I know we got a lot of sprint car people tuning in today to hear our Faccinto interview. Let me know who you guys think is going to pick up the King of the West title this year. I think that one is a little bit wide open. So again, want to thank Mitchell Faccinto for coming on. This weekend in short track racing, on Saturday, we're going to be at Madera Speedway for their practice day. I believe it goes from 1 to 5 p.m. And if you've ever seen a Madera practice day, they're not like a normal practice day. You would think you're at a full-blown points event. Wouldn't surprise me if there's over 30, maybe even 40 late models in the pits. So it's always a good time. We're going to be there filming some MAV TV content with our new commentator and reporter, Olivia Mankey, is going to be working her way through the pits and getting a little trial by fire there in the practice day. And then we're fully intending, if the caffeine is good, might need one of those new NOS turbos to get us there, or a 5150. We're going to try to get to Hanford after that and then film some post-race interviews. Might hit up Peter Murphy, see if we can get some infield access as well. But in the meantime, we're still planning on going one way or the other. So it's going to be an exciting Saturday. We're going to have a lot of stuff to document from all that, and we can't wait to share it with you next week here on Blakesley Sports Media Live. And next week, we're a little bit open-ended. We don't really have a guest in mind because there's a lot less racing going on. Of course, we'll see who wins at Hanford. So if you have any ideas for guests here on Blakesley Sports Media Live, we'd love to hear it. Coming up in 2 weeks, we're going to make that our Madera Speedway preview episode. We'll have our promoter, Kenny Shepard, on the show, and that'll be on the 10th. But we need something for next Tuesday, so hit me up if you have any ideas for that. And Ethan Lamprey says, lock it down, the number 69. Well, Bud Kading, well, one thing that's going to help Bud Kading is he will have a target, and that'll be that 0 car of Kyle Hurst. And you know that Bud's going to want to at least be ahead of Hurst, and you know that Hurst will be near the front. So you start to do the math there, and I think you're right that Bud Kading is a very strong contender this year. But in all honesty, there's probably about 8 or 9 cars that could win main events here in 2020 in the King of the West NARC series. And again, just really looking forward to seeing how that series goes. So I want to thank you all for tuning in once again here to episode number 5 of Blakesley Sports Media Live. And we hope to see you guys at the racetrack, either at Madera or Hanford this weekend. ASCS, they're coming to town next weekend, and they'll be coming to Merced, Placerville, and then Petaluma Speedway. That'll be really exciting. And then March the 14th, things get started for the Madera Speedway Nut Up Pro Late Models. So the race season is upon us, and we'll see you at the races.